Back in the golden age of Hollywood, it was almost unheard of for stars to forego marriage. Yet now, it's not all that odd to watch as a celeb hops from one relationship to another. Here are some celebs who, for some reason or another, never got married. Legend has it that Leo DiCaprio has never dated a woman over the age of 25. Well, at least that's what a thorough fan study purports. While we can't speak to whether that statement is the ironclad truth, we can say that the Inception star has never been married. Despite having dated stunning supermodels like Gisele Bündchen and Bar Raffaelli, DiCaprio has never been married. When asked by 60 Minutes Australia if he would settle down, the actor appeared rather evasive, saying, "I would never answer that question." Though, when pressed whether marriage is ever a possibility in the future, he seemed optimistic.
Is it on the cards one day?
I'm sure it will be.
In 2016, DiCaprio elaborated on his marital stance when Parade asked him if he believes in marriage. He responded, "That time will come when that time comes. The truth is, you can't predict marriage. You can't plan it. It's just going to happen when it happens." Considering that his current girlfriend, Camila Morrone, is in her mid-20s, the clock is ticking, and only time will tell if she's going to become the first Mrs. DiCaprio. Catch him if you can, ladies. Or rather, catch him while you can before reaching that almighty 25th birthday. As Ricky Gervais quipped at the Golden Globes in 2020, Leo DiCaprio attended the premiere of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and by the end, his date was too old for him. There is no shortage of women lining up to settle down with dapper Mad Men star Jon Hamm. Although Hamm admits he's a romantic at heart, tying the knot simply isn't for him. Having been in a long-term relationship with Jennifer Westfeldt from 1997 to 2015, Hamm opened up about his views on marriage in a 2010 interview with Parade, explaining that he grew disillusioned with the notion of wedlock due to witnessing turbulent marriages within his family. Stating, "I don't have the marriage chip, and neither of us have the greatest examples of marriages in our families, but Jen is the love of my life, and we've already been together 4 times longer than my parents were married." Furthermore, he referred to marriage as nothing more than, quote, "a piece of paper" in an interview with the New York Post. Unfortunately, the decades-long romance between Hamm and Westfeldt wasn't to be, with the pair reportedly breaking up due to the former's ongoing personal issues. On being single after such a lengthy relationship, Hamm told InStyle, "It's hard. It's hard to be single after being together for a long time. It's really hard. It sucks." Known for her depiction of the quirky Annie Hall, which was directed by her controversial ex-boyfriend Woody Allen, Diane Keaton has been open about her pretty celibate lifestyle, admitting to InStyle in 2019, "I haven't been on a date in, I would say, 35 years." The actor's renouncement of marriage lies in the patriarchal expectations imposed upon her mother, telling Lisa Kudrow in an Interview magazine feature, "I feel like she chose family over her dreams, and she was just the best mother. But I think that she is the reason why I didn't get married. I didn't want to give up my independence." By the way, no one has ever asked me to marry them either, so that might be a good answer. Keaton also told People that she wished she had wed her ex, Al Pacino, but knew that probably wouldn't have been the right move, saying, "He was even less inclined to be realistic than me, and I don't think a long-term happy marriage would be easy for him." There's no denying that marriages are often messy, so we don't blame Keaton for opting out of that kind of commitment. Throughout the years, James Franco has been linked to numerous women, but has never tied the knot. His boyish looks aside, Franco is actually approaching middle age. Although he hasn't met the right person to settle down with, the actor isn't ruling out marriage. Speaking to Elle, he explained, "I'm not against it. I guess it would take the right person. Maybe one day." Until that day comes, Franco is busy locking lips with girlfriend Isabel Poxod, who is 15 years his junior. In that same Elle interview, Franco reflected on his parents' idealized marriage, which helps explain his stance on waiting for the right person, saying, "My parents stayed married their entire lives. They somehow worked out ways to pursue what they loved while being supportive of each other." In the words of his beloved pal Tommy Wiseau, "You can love someone deep inside your heart, and there is nothing wrong with it." Despite being a multi-Grammy award-winning musician and selling millions of albums worldwide, Sheryl Crow's lack of a husband is a frequent topic of conversation when discovering the legendary singer. But for Crow, marriage simply isn't her priority. That isn't to say she's ruling it out completely, though. Telling Good Housekeeping, "I would love to get married. I'm still old-fashioned, but I don't think marriage is the be-all and end-all. It's better to have 3 broken engagements than 3 divorces." The latter remark is likely in reference to her past engagement to disgraced Olympic cyclist Lance Armstrong, to whom Crow was engaged in the mid-2000s. That said, it is unclear to whom the other 2 engagements refer. During an appearance on Dax Shepard's Armchair Expert podcast, Crow lamented the fact that she, quote, gravitated to pathological narcissists, which may also explain her aversion to marriage. The singer has further poked fun at her unmarried but thrice engaged status, telling the crowd at the Gracie Awards, "And all I can say is that I've been engaged 3 times. And I never got married, but I've had a rockin' great time not getting married." Hey, if it works, it works. Forget Absolute Vodka. Sweden's biggest import is Absolut Skarsgård. Hunky actor Alexander Skarsgård certainly gets many fans' true blood running. Standing at over 6 feet 4 inches tall, and with his quintessentially Scandinavian locks, it's a bit of a shock to learn that the strapping Swede is still on the market. Even his little brother Bill, aka Pennywise, has settled down into fatherhood. If the scary clown can have a family, then it should be easy for big brother Alex, right? But for him, marriage and kids aren't on his agenda anytime soon. This is because Skarsgård feels that marriage would be inharmonious with his commitment to minimalism. Telling The Guardian, "I'm not married and I don't have kids, and I'm really enjoying it at the moment. There's something quite Buddhist about the sense that you can only have 8 items or whatever, because I have my 1 suitcase and whatever doesn't fit in that, I can't bring." So in terms of consumption, it really makes you think. We're still trying to wrap our heads around this Marie Kondo-esque metaphor, but perhaps Skarsgård is trying to explain that he reserves his suitcase for those who truly spark joy. While he's dated many prominent women through the years, it seems that none of them were wife material. Or, in this instance, suitcase material. A romantic at heart, Winona Ryder described herself as a, quote, serial monogamist in an interview with Net-a-Porter's The Edit. However, matrimony seems to be a bit fraught for the actress. As she told the publication, "But marriage? I don't know. I'd rather never have been married than been divorced a few times. Not that there's anything wrong with divorce, but I don't think I could do it if that was a possibility." Ryder also mentioned that her parents' decades-long and successful marriage has given her a high standard for relationships. The good news is that she has someone who seems to meet that high level. That special someone is Scott McKinley Hahn, a fashion designer who specializes in sustainability efforts and whom Ryder has been happily dating since 2011. The pair have frequently been snapped getting cozy together at various events, and their romantic rapport is palpable. A ring don't mean a thing. So who needs matrimony when Ryder and Hahn are getting so steamy? That said, in spite of her reservations towards marriage, Ryder may have technically married Keanu Reeves when filming Bram Stoker's Dracula in 1992, telling Entertainment Weekly, "No, I swear to God, I think we're married in real life." She explained that a real Romanian priest wed their characters on the set of the Francis Ford Coppola movie. Well, there are certainly stranger things that can happen to a gal than accidentally marrying Keanu Reeves. Jamie Foxx is many things: Oscar-winning actor, comedian, singer, and lifelong bachelor. Although he has 2 kids, Foxx has surprisingly never been married. The actor has played everyone from the slave owner slaying Django to legendary musician Ray Charles. But the role he plays best is that of a Hollywood star living the single life. Chatting to Men's Health, the Django Unchained star stated that he simply isn't the marrying type, saying, "Some people can want to be married their whole lives. And then some people cannot want to be. I just never thought marriage was for me." He added that he's not up for what marriage entails, describing himself as, quote, "committed to being not committed." That commitment hasn't stopped him from starting relationships with various women, however. Throughout the years, he's been spotted with Stacey Dash, who you may remember from Clueless. and Tom Cruise's ex, Katie Holmes, among others. During a 2017 appearance on The Graham Norton Show, Fox, who was then aged 49, discussed the difficulties of being a bachelor later in life, especially when it comes to the club scene.
These girls pull up, and I'm outside the club. I'm about to go in the girls' club. Oh my God, Jamie Foxx! I'm like, what's up? We go to school with your daughter.
Oh, indeed. Maybe it's time to hit the road, Jamie. When he's not busy irritating celebs at the Golden Globes and causing an uproar with his contentious jokes, British comic Ricky Gervais is leading a wholesome life with long-term partner Jane Fallon and their pets. After meeting at the prestigious University College London in 1982, Gervais and Fallon have been going strong. As for marriage, it's not the extras creator's cup of tea. He told The Times about his views on marriage. Don't see the point. We are married for all intents and purposes. Everything's shared, and actually, our fake marriage has lasted longer than a real one. But there's no point in us having an actual ceremony before the eyes of God because there is no God. In addition to being unmarried, Gervais and Fallon have chosen not to have children. As Fallon wrote in The Guardian, "Thankfully, my partner Ricky felt the same. Not that I would make a terrible mother, or if he did think that, he thoughtfully kept that to himself, but that he wasn't keen on parenthood either. And as we're both the youngest children of large families, the pressure was off." Always one to challenge the status quo, perhaps the controversial comedian feels he's being rebellious by rejecting convention. Always a free spirit, Oscar-winning actor Allison Janney is happy to go with the flow. If this means never settling down, she's just fine with that. After a brief engagement to fellow actor Richard Jenick in 2005, Janney has found peace in the prospect of never being a blushing bride, as she revealed during an appearance on The Drew Barrymore Show.
I'd love to eventually find someone to share my life with, but if it doesn't happen, I think I'll be just fine.
When queried about her decision to not get married or have kids, Janney explained that the same logic applies to foregoing motherhood, saying, "I think if I would have found the right guy at the right time who wanted to have kids, I probably would have with the right partner because I wasn't ever really confident that I wanted to have kids. I would rather regret not having kids than have kids and regret that. I'm okay with it." For Janney, being an unmarried woman has major perks. At the 2016 Sundance Film Festival, she was spotted cozying up to her handsome then-beau Philip Junkus, who is 20 years her junior. When asked by E! Whether she and Junkus would be tying the knot, the I, Tonya star replied, "I don't believe in that institution." Whether he's lustfully pursuing Adam Sandler's female alter ego in the universally panned Jack and Jill, or reminding us that he's an amazing actor in The Irishman, Al Pacino has had quite the diverse career over the years. As such, it may be a little hard to believe that he was a brooding heartthrob back in the day. Despite some high-profile relationships, namely with National Lampoon's alum Beverly D'Angelo, who gave birth to the couple's twins at the age of 49, the acting vet has never been married. As reported by The Independent, Pacino opposes marriage, saying, "I hate to say this, but marriage is a state of mind, not a contract. When I think about the law and marriage, I ask myself, when did the cops get involved?" The truth is, the Scarface star regrets this decision, but he told The Telegraph that he never tied the knot because he believed true love was more important than wedlock, saying, "I don't know about marriage yet, but when you are in love, that's the height of it. So I probably should have got married a couple of times back then. I wish I would have." Considering that he dated Mattel Dohan, who is 39 years his junior, the unwed Pacino can still bring the heat to the ladies on any given Sunday. Talk show host and multi-billionaire Oprah Winfrey leads a pretty normal life when she's not giving away free cars and fending off Tom Cruise's attempts to infiltrate her mind. Since 1986, she has been in a loving relationship with Stedman Graham, but they opted not to wed. As the talk show host wrote in Oprah Daily, marriage was a commitment she wasn't prepared to make, admitting, "In 1993, the moment after I said yes to his proposal, I had doubts. I realized I didn't actually want a marriage. I wanted to be asked. I wanted to know he felt I was worthy of being his missus, but I didn't want the sacrifices, the compromises, the day in, day out commitment required to make a marriage work." Furthermore, in an interview with India's NDTV, Winfrey stated that her decision to reject marriage lies in her refusal to conform to traditional gender roles, saying, "I think that had we gotten married, we probably would have been divorced by now." And he would agree. I'm not saying that disrespectfully. He would agree because I really am my own woman, and I don't really conform very well to other people's ideas about who and what I should be. And being married calls for some conformity. Clearly, Miss Winfrey is in charge of her destiny, and it's one that she will always own. Best known as the fiery Joyce in Mike and Molly, and as Jim Carrey's legal nemesis in Liar Liar, Swoosie Kurtz has always been honest when it comes to telling us how she really feels about marriage. The veteran actor has used her platform to expose the inherent sexism in asking women when they are going to marry, while highlighting the hypocrisy of glorifying single men as playboys. In her 2014 memoir, Part Swan, Part Goose, Kurtz ponders, why is it that people are so uncomfortable with the thought of a woman who is, by choice or not, alone? It seems to waffle between suspicion and sympathy. Is she the witch or the widow? Or just waiting for Mr. Right? A solitary gentleman can be a confirmed old bachelor, but a solitary woman must be Miss Havisham. This Dickensian reference exemplifies the overriding double standard faced by single women versus single men, one which Hollywood stars like Kurtz are not immune to. During an appearance on The Hollywood Reporter's Off the Cuff podcast, Kurtz further clarified her stance on marriage, noting that she, quote, never had the marriage radar out. The actor emphasized the pressure put on women to marry, but stated that she was rejecting any such patriarchal notions, professing, as a woman, you really feel you have to apologize for it, and I just don't anymore. Saturday Night Live alum Maya Rudolph and There Will Be Blood director Paul Thomas Anderson make quite the power couple. But despite being together for 2 decades and having 4 kids, the pair aren't married. For Rudolph, her highly fulfilling relationship with Anderson is just as meaningful as a marriage. As she told Us Weekly, I think genuinely like the effort to make an effort. That's the most romantic gesture. To show up every day is kind of the most romantic part because you can bail at any moment. From her rib-tickling turn as the obnoxious Jody Dietz to her rapport with co-star and pal Fred Armisen as one half of snooty art dealers, the Shoners, Rudolph is a true chameleon when it comes to depicting her various SNL characters, but her true colors shine through when speaking about her beau. Although she and Anderson are not married, Rudolph told the New York Times that she nonetheless calls the Boogie Nights director her husband, as opposed to other labels, as she feels the former designation holds greater gravitas. As she explained to the publication, people know what that means. It means he's the father of my child, and I live with him, and we are a couple, and we are not going anywhere. Rudolph is always a bridesmaid, never a bride, and that's just how she likes it. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite celebrities are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.